But hey guys, what's up? We just wanted to put together a quick video to let you know what we were doing this morning. You guys all know my son Garrett. Well, if you're a cool kid, you know Garrett. If you're not, then you don't.
What's up, guys?
We got a video of Garrett's first buck on the channel, so if you want to tune in for that, you should take a look. It's a great video. So what did we do this morning, Garrett?
We went up turkey hunting.
Yesterday was the opening of the youth turkey hunt in Utah, and this morning was the first time that Garrett and I were able to get out. You might look at Garrett's bad teenage mustache and think he's too old for the youth turkey hunt, and he almost is. 17 and a half. This morning started out, what, dark 30? You probably got 3 hours of sleep. We went up to the kind of the old reliable spot. We're like the most unreliable spot. The good thing about it is that it's close. The bad thing about it is that it's close. When they say land of multiple uses, we saw a lot of that this morning. World War III happened.
Yeah, World War III.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. A lot of motorcycle guys, a lot of campers. I think we saw one guy squatting.
Yeah.
That trailer was pretty janky. The target shooters. Yeah, the target shooters were at every nook and canyon there. Yeah, it started out a pretty good morning. First spot had a truck in it. Second spot had a truck in it. It's almost the top. And sat and watched a little bit of a bull that we like to watch up there, but there was not too much action happening. After that, we drove up on the road to see how far up we could get. We couldn't get too far, but there was a lady making pancakes, so that was delicious, right?
That looks good.
We were, kind of listening for gobbles. We weren't hearing much, so then we decided to go and park and hike on that trail. Again, started hearing some gobbles, right? They were talking pretty good this morning, except they weren't close at all. And that's the problem with this spot. It really is this. You can hear these turkeys from the ridge, but it's like they're the next ridge over. And between you and them is like just a brush choked hellhole that you can't get through. And we sat there for probably, probably an hour listening to those turkeys gobble. Then we heard some on our side of the ridge, right? So we decided to kind of back out and go back around. We got to the top and didn't see those turkeys. Ran into a motorcycle guy. We heard him coming up the trail, so we kind of got off the side of the trail. He didn't see us till the last second. He kind of stopped the bike abruptly, but then he turned it off. What did he say to us?
He said that he saw, a herd. Big old herd
Yeah,
of turkeys.
he
saw a pretty big tom that spooked right across him and went down like towards the bottom of the street.
There's a herd of turkeys to that guy. Props to him. He gave us a little bit of intel. About that time, that's when World War III broke out, huh?
Yeah.
They came loaded for bear, man. They had lots of ammo. They were gonna use it. They're kind of shooting in this bowl, and we're up on this ridge above it. Turns out they weren't shooting in our direction, but it sounded like it. And that's kind of the morning. Oh no, that's not it.
We saw before the motorcycle guy.
Yeah, I just stopped the call, right? And I'd been let out a few yelps, and no response.
There was a fork in the trail.
Yeah.
We had stopped. There was some scat on the little forky part, and I was like, "That's turkey." And then, as soon as I was like kind of looking at it, I heard like rustling, and it was like, I looked over and I just barely saw the heads of a couple hens.
Yeah.
And so they immediately turned around. They flew away. It's kind of spooked out of there.
Yeah. So we kind of jumped those hens, and that one hen looked like it kind of hit the tree, huh? Because they're flying out of there. It's the worst sound in the world, but it's super impressive the way those things can fly.
Yeah.
You just don't think that they could just kind of spread their wings and soar like that, but they just kind of get up and they go.
And we kind of followed down kind of where he went, and just off the side of the road I heard another one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I never even saw it, but I could hear that it was probably 15 yards away, but it was just too thick in there.
Yeah, it's all scrub oak. You just can't get through that stuff. It's probably why they live in there, because it's real easy just to dip out into the scrub oak and nobody can get to them. Yeah, so we heard them. They were talking a lot. We saw some. Got a little too close before we were prepared. Heard the legend of the herd, of the turkey herd. Yeah, that was kind of the end of the morning. But this spot we've been going to for a long time. Like you've had some pretty close calls in that area.
Yeah.
So what was the first one you can remember?
Yeah, I remember. It's probably about 3 years ago now. Is we have this little meadow that we like to go up there and sit at first light. One year we got up there, got sat down, we had a decoy in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Just about at dawn, I think it was about 3 turkeys just flew down right up to our decoy.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting a shot off. I missed all 3 of them, but I got the shot off.
Yeah, you said there's like 2 hens in a tom, right?
Yeah, there's 2 hens in a tom.
You noticed the last one was like noticeably bigger. I was actually, the one regret I have about that, I think the whole setup was awesome, and you know the way we got them to fly down out of the tree to the decoy, like that's just like picture perfect textbook. But I was trying to call them closer to you, so instead of kind of sitting by you, I was walking back and calling to see if I could call them up to us. So when you pulled the trigger, I was like, that's so cool. And that's actually further than I've ever been. I've had a turkey in my sights on my shotgun, right? But I've never pulled the trigger. And so I was so happy for you. I'm proud of you in that moment that you had the one that the setup had worked, and you're still enough and calm enough to get the shot off. And then when I came back, what happened? You're like, well, and then you told me the story. You're like, I think I missed. I'm like, okay, that's okay. You know, that's part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had some close calls up there. Not close enough to pull the trigger, but that's mostly though. Like, that is one thing about that place is, you know, it's heavily used, and that's great. Like, I think it's awesome that people are up there using the public land. But there have been instances where I've had a shot that I haven't taken because there's been other people just within 50 yards of where I was getting the opportunity. Yeah, it's a struggle, man. I don't know. We're on the turkey struggle bus. At least I have been. It's just the start of this season. We don't need to be so Debbie Downer on it, but that's kind of how today went. So kind of more of the same. Next week, I think what we'll do is we'll go to a spot where we have to drive to a little bit. It's a little bit out of the way. I think we'll have a little bit better success. So I think we'll do that. Maybe we'll just leave it here, and we'll catch up to you guys on the next one. Thanks. Peace.